lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Hafide, and welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. I'm here at Paradise Fitness Center with Melvin and Chris to talk about yoga. So Melvin, you teach some classes here at Paradise. How long have you been a yoga instructor?
For yoga class, I've been teaching for like more than 12 years already for yoga class. But I teach other formats as well, aside from yoga.
Okay, so what made you decide to get involved in yoga?
Well, you know, when we are younger, we tend to gear towards like strenuous exercises, like fast-paced exercises, and it's always like that when I was young. So when my friend asked me to try yoga, I fell in love with it. So it balanced it out. Like it's not only I'm teaching the strenuous exercise, but at the same time it balanced me out because this is a slow class. But at the same time, you get to burn same calories when you do your fast-paced exercise and slow pace.
So you get the stretching, kind of like the calming effect, but you're still burning calories, so it's like a win-win. Chris, how is this particular class for you?
Well, first of all, I thought it was the beginner class, so I was kind of tricked. I mean, I've been to yoga a few times, and this class, I mean, the pace, it was real frenetic, and I really felt like I did get a good workout. And you know, we did this like meditation in the beginning, so I was like, oh, it's gonna be kind of chill, and the lights were low. Well, thank God the lights are low because I don't want anyone to see like the faces I was making. I mean, you know, they were right. Like a lot of the poses, it's not that they're that difficult to do. It's that you hold them for a long time and like you're working parts of your body that don't normally get worked. And I find with like, you know, doing running and especially core 6, I'm really stiff all the time, especially as you get older, like my joints, and I just always feel like creaky and stiff. And I feel like this class really like stretched me out really good and got like blood flowing to those muscles and helped me like kind of, I mean, I'm not saying I'm flexible, but it helped me feel like a little more flexible.
All right, Melvin. So, you know, you said that this yoga is a good thing to offset more strenuous exercises, like maybe a lot of heavy weightlifting. What would you say are some of the benefits that people could see from taking this type of class?
Okay, yoga is not just a fitness class, it's actually a way of life. So when you started doing yoga, your outlook changes on how you perceive things. So you have like more positive outset in your mind. So with doing yoga, it's also like a discipline class. Like it teaches you how to be more disciplined. Number one, from the breathing. You're contained with like breathing into your nose and out to your nose. That's it. We call it ujjayi breath or the heating breath. So the breath alone burns you calories already because it heats your body and warms up your body. And then the next thing is the hold of the poses, which makes you like train you to stay on a certain pose at a long period of time or short period of time with the breath. And after that one, tend to burn more calories than usual. But a lot of people doesn't know that they really burn calories here. So especially for those who are at the gym area or the floor area, they're lifting really, really heavy weights. This is the class for you and for athletes also.
Okay, you know, one thing I like about yoga also is that I definitely see all those benefits with the class. I always feel really positive afterwards, and I always feel like I got a good workout. But another thing is that sometimes yoga is really empowering because you get to do all these really cool poses. They all have really cool names like Warrior 1, Sky Warrior, and all of that. But they're really cool, and the best part is when you actually, you know, you might struggle the first few times you do the pose, but when you finally get the hang of it, it's really cool to actually be able to do the pose and hold the pose. So Chris, what's your favorite move or least favorite move?
Well, like you said, I really like how, I don't know what to call you, coach or sensei, but I like how he goes back and he makes you do the pose a few times. So like for the first time, it was like really wobbly, and then usually by the 4th or 5th time, you find that you're starting to, you know, be able to hold the pose better. And if that breathing, the yoga breathing helps burn calories, I'm just going to start breathing like that like all the time. You know, just in through the nose, out through the nose. And maybe I'm going to get me some yoga pants. Maybe that'll help.
The hardest pose for me is dancer. It's so hard. Actually, sometimes I can do it, but then sometimes I just, like today, I just couldn't do it at all. I was just wobbling. How long did you go through some like special training
Well, yoga teachers, we have a series of trainings. I got to a 200-hour certification training way back then, and of course, I attended a lot of workshops as well all over the world. Um, it's just a continuous education for us, yoga teachers.
And of course, some people were saying in the class today, every class is different. So you try to switch it up so that people are getting different kinds of strengthening different moves. Can you tell us about that?
I also base it on the energy of my attendees. Like, if I feel like they can do this kind of pose, I will let them try it. So it usually, I feel it through your energies. Then I do my sequence of poses.
So what was the hardest part for you when you first started? Because now you're obviously, 12 years of experience, you're pretty good at what you're doing. But for all of us beginners in the class, we're thinking, oh, it's so hard, especially for me, the balancing part. What was the hardest part for you when you started versus now?
Well, the hardest part was the discipline actually on doing the poses. But of course, when you feel that you're young, you think you could almost do everything. But that changed me because I started doing yoga, and I thought I was strong then. But they made me realize that I'm not that strong. That I have to learn more things to get to that point, to get to that level. So it grounds me as well. So it makes me, somehow humble with what I'm doing, and at the same time, you just have to keep an open mind all the time. It teaches you how to become open on a lot of things, and it's just a continuous learning process.
Do you feel like yoga is kind of meditative?
Well, yes, in a way. By the start, you start breathing. You would hear the soothing sound of your breath already. So by that time, it's just a click on your brain that, wow, this is kind of soothing, it's kind of chill, and it's really good. It's a good feeling, especially if you're really, really stressed at work.
Is that your favorite move, Chris? Shavasana?
Yeah, I like the part where you lay down at the end and you just close your eyes. Like, the class was so hard and the pace was just like, I didn't even get to relax. It was just like, okay, let's do this. That's okay. Plank, upward dog, downward dog, just like bam, bam, bam. So by the time we got to the last pose of the meditation, I was really just like, oh. I was like, let it last long.
All right, well, thanks so much, guys. Definitely want to try out this class again. Well, stay tuned. We'll have more health, home, and lifestyle after the break.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.